Hello and welcome to CGNgames and the Late Night Gaming Show, episode 49. One away from the big 5-0. Are we going to do something special for it? Only time will tell because we don't know ourselves.
Nope.
So we will try to do something special.
We will.
But all will be revealed. Jodie, how are you doing on this fine Thursday, but Monday for them?
Good. Good.
I'm imagining in the future Monday will be a good day. That's what I'm going to say.
It will always be a good day on Mondays.
Cool. But we're not here to talk about what happens next Monday. We're here to talk about what's happened now, what's happened in the news, what we've been playing. And that's what we're about to find out. So let's go into what we've been playing this week.
What you been playing this week?
Welcome back. It is time for what have we been playing this week, or in Jodie's case, which sim has she killed this week? Jodie, what have you been up to this week?
So, all the Sims are safe.
That's good to know.
Well, I hope they are, because I've not been on it. And I've actually not played anything this week.
You've not played anything?
I can't even think of a mobile game I've played. I've literally not played anything.
Oh my word.
This is a first.
What
I don't know what's
illness?
happening.
What illness did you have?
Uni.
Uni? Oh, that's the worst.
That's the illness that came along with unbearable sad week.
Well, Jodie, it's been the opposite for me. I have played so much this week. I've had a great time. But first, this needs to be shared on this show.
Go on.
Good things.
Let's get it out of the way.
So, as some of you may know, I've not talked about it that much on the show. But I feel like now is the time to share this part of my life with people. So, around September last year, I didn't know this was a thing, but it was a thing. And I can't believe I didn't know, because this is totally my sort of thing. So I discovered through just something I found on a collector's edition to do with Golf Story, and you know, Tim loves Golf Story. Golf Story right here. I don't know if you can actually see it, but Golf Story is a fantastic game, and that's how I discovered limited run games. So they do like limited runs, as the name suggests, of games. So I found that, and then just through Google, I started discovering all these companies that seem to do this sort of idea of doing really small numbers of usually indie games that don't usually get a lot. And so I discovered Super Rare Games, which is like the UK equivalent, and they only do Switch games because Switch is the best, obviously. And since up till now, I've got every single one of the games they put out, apart from 2. But today, Jodie, that's been whittled down to 1 because I finally managed to get myself a copy of Shelter Generations.
Are you happy?
Number
about
3. Well, Jodie, words cannot describe how happy I am about this. Do I know if this game is good? No. Do I have any idea if I'm going to enjoy it? No. But for the longest time, I've had 13 games on my shelves, and they all have a number on the side, and I've been missing 3 and 4. And that seems to be the one that nearly everybody seems to be missing, which makes no sense. But there you go. So I managed to find this off. I bought it on eBay. I didn't pay an obscene amount of money for it, which I was quite happy about, because these can go upwards of 150 quid. That's what we're talking, Jodie, for one standard game. How does that make you feel? So I managed to get this one off a nice German fellow. I don't know if he's nice. I didn't speak to him. But in beautiful condition. So I'm so happy. I'm one step closer to a full collection. So the last one to get is Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is the hardest one to find. And currently there's one on eBay for $250, which I will not be paying. So that makes me sad because I'm just missing one game now.
Yeah, I bet.
So there you go. So that's what I've been buying this week. But Jodie, that's not been the only thing that I've bought this week. Did you know that?
Oh no.
So there's multiple other companies like this. But then recently I came across another company which is called Merge Games, who are actual publisher of certain games. But they do have a website, and I don't want to tell people about this in case they buy all of them. Because I don't have them all. Called Signature Editions of their games.
Oh, Tim.
Don't be upset, Jodie. This is good stuff. So basically, they do like special editions for the games that they put out normally. So you can buy like it's not like limited numbers. Well, it is of them editions, but you can buy the normal games on Amazon or anything. You know what I mean? But I bought my first one, and it's called Moonlighter, which tons of people will of course heard of Moonlighter. But I've been intrigued in this game, but I've never pulled the trigger on buying it. But then I found Signature Edition games. Look at that, the Signature Edition, and there it is. Look how fancy that is, Jodie.
Wait there, when we were playing Find What's New on the Shelf,
Yes.
I pointed at that.
You didn't until and I went, Jodie.
And I said, is it something to do with that? And you went, no.
Don't lie, Jodie. You were pointing at the flipping cars and everything. Me and Jodie play a game of what's new on the shelf this week, so Jodie has to figure out what's new. But anyway. So I got this. I actually ordered this about a month and a half ago, and it just didn't come.
Is it signed?
Well, that's why it's called Signature Edition, but it's not actually a real signature. So they've signed this somewhere, and then they've done
Just
a print run of
it.
a bunch of them. So I was aware of that, but it's just a cool. It's a much bigger box than I expected. But I've got to show you what's inside this one, Jodie, because it's cool. So I've been playing this game before we even get into this. This game is amazing. This is right up my alley. So essentially what you do, right, you go into dungeons, kill a bunch of monsters, get a bunch of items and stuff, and then you go back and you have your own little shop in a town.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons.
No, it's not at all, Jodie.
Digital version.
When you say dungeons, we're talking like Zelda kind of dungeons. It's not.
I've never
like
been
that.
in a dungeon in Zelda.
Well, that's upsetting for everybody viewing, isn't it? But so you go in and you sort of collect items and kill monsters to get stuff, and then you go back to your shop and you have your own shop and you put up the prices of what you want to try and sell them for. You get customers come in and try and buy them, and then you can like upgrade your shop and make it bigger, and then you can get the town to invite like a blacksmith to come in and make weapons and grow in this little town. It's like growing a little community, Jodie. But it's so good. It's right up my alley, that. So it's kind of like a mashup between like Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, and like something like Zelda. It's really cool. Anyway, so open this little box. You know it's good because it's like Apple boxes where you've got to stand there for a while you wait for it to drop. So so you know, like with the super rare games, you get little trading cards with them, don't you? Well, with these, you get a nice little postcard that comes with the game, and I'm scared for you to touch it. But it's just like a nice piece of artwork on there. You get a nice little poster that has all the signatures from the development team, which is nice.
Nice. It's not really the signatures they signed.
You get, which I'm totally into. I am a collector of soundtracks now. That's my thing. So you get a nice little CD. The soundtrack on this is incredible. Mm-hmm. And also, Jodie, you get, I don't know why you would do this, but you get a little medallion that comes with a necklace thing that you could wear if you really wanted to. And it says, every adventure has to pay off.
That's sick.
So there you go. I will be retrieving that at the end of the show. And then my favourite bit, one of the monsters from the game, in squishy form.
Okay. That's interesting.
That is pretty cool.
That
So when Jodie's there telling me that this game's like Dungeons and Dragons and she's making fun of me, I can squeeze this and go, Jodie! So, quite fun.
Or I can just throw it.
So I am a big fan of this. So they do have like a bunch of other games that they publish that they do these signature editions of. So I am in the market to buy more, but I haven't got loads of money, so I can't just buy everything that I want to buy.
I think that's a good thing.
So
if we had all the money in the world, this place would be full of stuff. Like, it's full of stuff already. But
so it's obviously it comes with the game as well, which is obviously the important part. But yeah, just really cool. And the thing is, it's not that much more expensive than buying the normal game on its own. So
see, that's what I like about
that's where
people
it's cool.
like that. They're just like, oh, pay an extra like £10. Mm-hmm. We'll give you the collector's edition.
And
that's how it's meant to be, people.
So I've been playing that a lot, and then the other one, which I'm not going to get up and get all the stuff out of because I can't be bothered. But it's called Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. And that's a game, again, that I've been really interested in getting a hold of, but I just never got round to it. And then I found this on Signature Games. So the collector's edition, or those editions, cost between £5 and £10 more than the base game. And in that one, you get a nice art book that has loads of commentary from the developers and everything, and you get a little coin and stuff like that. So it's just nice little extras for not that much more, so there's no reason not to buy it, really. But that game is basically what the gist of it is. You just got this big open world that you kind of go around and explore. There's no monsters to kill or anything like that. You just go around and sort of help villagers out and do little quests for people. But you just go around and explore. And it's actually it's what I'd actually describe is just really relaxing. And you just run around, you do a bit of fishing, you get little farms in different areas, but it's not like hardcore farming like Harvest Moon and things like that. It's just you just befriend animals in the wild and bring them back to your farm. They live there and you get milk for free. It's basically what's going on. But it's good little chill out session, so been enjoying that. And then finally, because this has just been a crazy week, I played more than that, but these are the main bits. I finally got around to playing New Super Mario Bros. U, which we are going to review later on. I don't care what people say, it's a fantastic game. I know people love to hate on it.
And what you did.
So,
go on, Tim.
My New Year's resolution was I had to complete a game a month, didn't I?
Yep.
That's what I had to do. I think I've completed about 3 or 4 games this month. I'm enjoying this new lifestyle choice, Jodie.
Well done.
But a few days ago, I finished New Super Mario Bros. U, got to the end, had a great time. The following day, I was like, I'm going to jump on and I'm just going to try and get some of the collectibles, because there's 3 big coins that you got to try and find in each level and stuff like that. I thought I'll do some of them because there's stuff you can unlock later on. And I had it on I have a little portable screen that I use, not the Switch screen itself, but I actually have another screen, a bigger screen, if I'm just sat downstairs and I want to watch TV as well, for example. So I set it all up. But while the game was loading up, I thought, I'll switch the TV on. So I was switching the TV, so I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on my screen. So then I must have been pressing some buttons. And then as I got the TV show up I wanted, I turned back and I thought it said, do you want to load this game? So I pressed A. But what it was actually asking me is, do you want to delete this save data? And I went, yes. And I was just watching it delete and I was thinking, what's happening? I didn't press anything. So then I tried to shut down the game immediately, hoping that would save it. I went back on and everything. So it was hours of fun.
So then you started a new one, didn't you?
Yes.
And then you remembered you could have had it in your saved to cloud.
So yes, I thought I'm going to have to play it again. My wife was like, why do you need to play it again? You finished it. I was like, because I need to have the save data there that says I finished it. And I want to get all the stuff as well. So I thought, cloud save, thank you Nintendo for finally having cloud saves on it. I'll go on and I'll download it, but by the time I got to there, it had already uploaded the new data and wiped. So it's almost like I haven't played that game at all, and it's really sad. But I don't mind playing it again because it's been a good time.
It's good.
But I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to save it for reviews of the week.
Yep.
So that's been everything. So you play nothing. I played everything.
Yeah. So you took up my space as well as your own.
Yeah. And we just played Ribbon something or other.
Ribbon Space.
Space Ribbon.
Space something.
On the Switch. For our first, we're calling it Deals of the Week on our new channel, which is of course Nintendo Switch Daily. So we're going to basically find the cheapest game that's on sale that week and play it and see if it's any good. Kind of like Trashy Tuesdays with a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
And we've just played that. So I'm not going to give anything away, but go and check that out because that's up on the channel right now. So lots going on. But most importantly...
always something going on at CGN.
Most importantly, Charlotte Generations. Charlotte Generations.
Just drop it.
Buy it now. Go on to superrgames.com, buy every game that they do.
What's next, Tim?
There's not a lot of games on there, though.
What's next, Tim?
They do limited amounts and...
The news!
limited amounts, and they've kind of sold out of everything apart from 2 games, so go Super Games, buy every game. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Bye.
Can someone tell me what's out this week? Hey-oh.
Welcome back. It is time for the news, and we have got... I've only picked out 4 news items this week, Jodie.
Okay.
Because I don't want us to go on forever talking about EA and how much I hate them. And I
Mm.
can confirm there is no Fallout 76 in the news this week.
Praise the Lord.
So number 1, I'm going to save number 1 for the last because it's depressing. So we're going to move on to number 2, which is Anthem is the new game that's in the news every week. So Anthem is a game that I am delighted that I did not buy day one because, boy, it went downhill real fast. But basically, there's been a problem where it's been bricking PS4s.
Breaking PS4s.
Bricking them, which is worse. So, I don't know if you've ever experienced it where if you don't shut down your PlayStation 4 properly before you pull power out, or
oh yeah,
it gets bad, and it basically you turn it on and it goes like check-in system, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people's it's going a step further and it's actually bricking the console, which means it doesn't work anymore. Or you turn it on and it goes rebuilding database and everything, and basically you lose everything. It's bad times. So this was mainly reported on PS4. So obviously because most people have it on PS4 because it's more popular than the Xbox. But it apparently it's doing the same thing to the Xboxes too. So it could not get any worse for that game. Like, numbers have been down. Everyone seems to hate the game. Now it's bricking console. So it's not even like, oh, I'll buy it when it's cheaper. No, I don't want it to wrap my PS4.
Don't want it anywhere near my PS4.
No. So I am so happy that I did not go anywhere near that game. But there you go. So if you want to buy Anthem, don't. Is our advice to you. Moving on. Nintendo have just come out apparently and said, so their mobile business, so you know they've been bringing out mobile games for the last sort of year or so. There's another game that's come out recently for us in Europe, but it's been out in America for about 6 months now or something, called Dragalia Lost. You wouldn't even know it was Nintendo if you just saw it, because it doesn't look like a Nintendo game, but that's because they're partnered with another company that are really making the game. And basically, that game has made more money than Super Mario Run already.
Wow.
Because obviously we knew a lot of people were upset that Super Mario Run was an upfront cost of like £8 or something. And this is all microtransactions, and it's already made more than Super Mario Run. But Nintendo, and this is what I love about Nintendo, they don't just care about how much money can we make in this short space of time. They think about their image long term, or like they actually want to be moral in a sense. And basically they've told their partners who make these mobile games now to basically tone it down with the microtransactions. They basically said we don't want people spending too much money on our games.
That's good.
Which is pretty crazy to hear from a... I mean, if that was EA, they'd be like, guys, can you crank it up? We need to triple these numbers now. We need to squeeze every last penny out of these kids. So it's nice to hear that Nintendo at least have a bit of common sense and don't want to abuse people's wallets. So that's good. I wasn't that into Dragalia Lost. I was really excited for it for ages, and it didn't come out for ages. I kind of forgot about it, and then it dropped the other week, and I played it, and I was like, nah, I want to play Shark Generations on Nintendo Switch, courtesy of
Super Games.
Moving on, it's time for number 4 now, which is Nintendo Switch VR, Jodie. Have you ever looked at your Nintendo Switch and gone, I wish it was in VR? Have you ever had that moment?
No.
Well, Jodie, your dreams can finally come true. Because today, which won't be today for you, which will have been Thursday, it was announced that there's a new Nintendo Labo kit, which is the VR kit.
Nice.
So there's 2 versions of this. You can get the VR kit, which is just, well, is it called the VR kit? Or is it called something else? Which basically just comes with the VR goggles and a big gun that comes out of your head. So you hold it like this, and you go, boom, boom, boom. Or you can buy, I think it is actually called the VR kit. I don't know what the smaller version's called, where it basically comes with all of that and then like a load of other stuff as well. So it's more like the variety kit that came out in the first place. But Jodie, it's finally happened. We have VR on the Nintendo Switch. Are you excited about that?
Yeah. I think so.
You think so? I'm...
And it's a bit of cardboard in it, like, going around it, so...
The cardboard all around it. So they've obviously took the idea of Google Cardboard, which is like you literally can buy it for like next to nothing, and then you pop your phone in and you kind of got a VR experience. I'm interested to see how, like, what the quality of it actually is.
Well, from the other, like, Labo stuff that's come out, like, the quality should be quite good.
Yeah.
Because the other Labos, like... Really
I agree,
good.
but I'm just intrigued. I'm more intrigued about how the games actually themselves turn out, because you have to have quite a high frame rate and stuff for VR to work properly and to not give you motion sickness and all sorts. So I'm interested to see how the Switch handles that, because it's not crazy powerful. But I mean, it works on phones and stuff, so it's possible. But Jodie, is this something that you're interested in? Because obviously you're not really been interested in Labo up till now. Is this something that you're thinking, oh, I might need to get in on this? Or are you just like, I'm just going to wait for Tim to buy it because he's clearly going to buy it. I'll try it out and then I'll buy it if it's good.
Yeah. That's the plan. That's always the plan.
So we did a video on this, so if you want to see more information about this, we go in more depth on it. Go and check it out, the video on Nintendo Switch Daily. But you've seen the different Toy-Con
Yes.
toys, which one intrigues you the most?
The camera.
The camera. Any reason for that?
I think it's just going to be an interesting one of how you can use a camera for a game.
It just makes sense, doesn't it? But you know what doesn't make sense if you think about it? So it makes sense because you're looking into it like a camera does, but when you look into a camera, it's not in 3D. It's actually the reverse of that. Everything's in 3D for us until you put the camera in, then it's 2D. So it's actually the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But I think that could be really cool. And then people have thought about like, could Pokemon Snap come? No.
Why though?
This
This would be the perfect opportunity for that.
This is where my worry is with this now, because I'm worried that this is now tied to Nintendo Labo. So, in terms of VR now as a Labo experience, and I can't see them going, buy Pokemon Snap, which is a full retail game, but to play that, you've also got to buy Nintendo Labo to do that.
No,
That's the problem, and I don't know if they would do
I
that.
think there should be an option between the two. So you can buy the game and play it anyway.
Just normally in 2D
Yeah.
on your phone, on the
Switch
TV or on the Switch.
or whatever. And then you can have the extra option of playing it in VR.
Oh.
That's what I think should happen. And I think that
Okay.
might happen at some point down
well
the
done,
line.
Jody. I don't think it's going to happen because what the Pokemon Company love to do, right? They love to go, you want this? No. That's what they love to do.
I know, but like
We can dream.
They've changed lives before, you see. And you could probably do it again.
But it's like the Wii U, for example, would have been perfect for... Everyone thought there was going to be a Pokemon Snap game because it just made sense because you had the gamepad and you could move it around. There's a screen there and everything. I just don't know if they'll do it. I hope they do because it would be so cool. I just don't believe.
But then
Pokemon Company.
they've been scumbags quite recently. So it's one of them. When it comes to those copyright strikes.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
We're getting there. We're
So,
getting there. With them.
Nintendo have come to the senses, but Pokemon Company are not so much. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm going to get the big pack. I think it just makes sense. You can, like I said, you can buy, if you just want to try it out, which is probably the smarter option to do, to be honest. You can buy just the VR headset and the gun thing, like I said, in one. But then if you want the additional stuff after it, you don't have to buy the whole thing again. You can just buy, I think it's like packs of 2 of
That's
each toy.
That's good. I just never really got into it because it was just cardboard.
I think
it
it was
did
just
amazing things, but I was just like, oh.
It was just like, I think what was so cool was just seeing, like, I think it opened up this whole world of possibility of, like, you could literally, like, think of the amount of different things you could do with the Switch, and it was just, like, things you never thought of, like, with the fishing rod, the way that works is so cool.
You know, it'd be cool if you could, like, make a little robot, right? And, like, literally, you could control it with your Switch. And then it just goes off and
But
like
you can.
brings your stuff and brings your stuff back.
Brings your stuff. You're getting kind of crazy though. But obviously they had the little robot, I don't know what you call it, the little bug thing, and it like moves around and you can control it with the screen.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Jody.
I don't know.
But,
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But I think it just like you couldn't imagine that this like a piano like that is crazy that you actually and it just works. It's just
Have you got your piano up yet?
No. Because my wife, this is my wife's thing apparently, but she won't finish it for me because she keeps going, oh, but it's going to take an hour and a half. And I'm like, well, I'll do it. She's like, no. Well, it's got to happen at some point. But I think the one that I think people weren't that into, but I just thought it was incredible, was the house. So there's like a little house,
that's clever,
and there's a little pet in it. But there's like all these little like buttons and like twisty things that you put in, and it's like depending on where you put it, different things pop up. But it's like just hitting it and stuff bouncing out of it. It's just so crazy. It's got to be one of the most creative things people have ever done in games. It's just so.
I think it's very
smart.
clever. Like, it's very piece of cardboard. It's doing stuff like that. It is clever.
Yeah, it's just it works so well. I think my only thing is it's just storing the stuff. That's the problem. So like, I really wanted to get the vehicle kit that just came out, and it comes with like the wheel and everything. But it's like, where do you put that wheel once you're done? There is nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem. But VR, it's not just it's just a pair of goggles in it. Apart from the elephant one is like a full on. It's got a whole trunk and everything.
Yeah,
so it's gonna get crazy.
But
yeah, it's looking good. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to be picking up the whole thing. So you'll probably just have a little look and go, oh, that's cool. I'll buy it myself. Thank you.
I was about. You enjoy the rest of that?
The other thing that people were apparently there was a rumor. Of course, it's like all these rumors suddenly come out as soon as announced. Like everybody knew it was going to happen. Like they obviously didn't. But the rumor is as well that they're going to implement it into Mario Kart as well.
I thought that was it anyway. Cause
So they
did it
have.
in an
Well, you think about it,
interview.
they've updated it to work with the wheel and the motorbike one. That's the other one I hadn't done, the motorbike one. So the people are saying that they're going to put the VR part of it now. But you think about it, they actually got that to work. You've essentially got VR with a wheel and everything, so it'll feel.
That'd be pretty sick.
But what I mentioned on the video we did before is that it doesn't, like, the VR thing doesn't have a strap that goes around your head to hold it in place, like you're holding it. So I don't see how that's going to work unless they somehow bring out a separate strap that somehow holds up to your head.
Yeah, I can understand why they've not done that, because you think after a while, kids put it on their head, it's going to like break.
Well, I think there might have been an issue with weight and things like that, but yeah, it's like all the games you're actually holding it there. I've experienced Google Cardboard before, and I've got to say it was really frustrating with ones that didn't have a strap. Now, if you have a strap on it, it's actually really good, and it just holds it there. But that's what I'm worried about. That's my biggest worry, really. I've got to hold it, because you think about your arms staying in that position for hours.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be playing it for hours, but for long periods of time, it's going to get tired, and that's what I'm worried about. So we'll see what happens, but that literally comes out in a month, which is like really soon, which is really cool.
It's really close.
I love Nintendo that they do that. They don't make you wait, apart from Metro Prime. Don't make you wait too long. But we're going on to our last one, which is the opposite of happiness, which Nintendo have given us. So I found today that a game had been banned off Steam, and it's ended up in like actual like regional news and all sorts. This game, and this is going to be in our topic of the week as well, is called Rape Day, and it's as bad as it sounds. Basically, it's a game where you can rape just rape women, and that's part of the game. But apparently, it's not like a choice either. It's like you have to do it to progress in the game. So basically, what happened was, like, Steam is notorious for not really having strict, like, they're not strict on what goes up there really. But basically, a petition went out, and I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000 people signed the petition. They looked into it and they decided to take it down. But this guy who's made this game has got his own website, and we're going to go through some of the stuff he said in a bit. But he's basically like, you can put in your email address and he'll email you out when you can get it from somewhere else and stuff. It's really dodgy. But these things exist these days, and it's kind of crazy. I don't advise you go looking into it, but it just looks creepy and weird. But we're going to look at that later. So we'll finish on a depressing note. And we'll move into what is out this week. Welcome back. It's time for what is out this week. And we have got 3 games on the list this week, Jodie. You excited?
Yes, yeah.
As always, I am going to go through the list of games coming out this week, and then Jodie is going to tell you what you should spend your hard-earned cash on. So, number 1, we have got the Division 2, the beta, which we missed because we forgot. Cool. We've got the Lego Movie 2 coming out on the Switch this week. You can buy it digitally now. I don't know why the physical version was delayed. It's delayed like 2 weeks. And like it's already out physically on the PS4 and Xbox One, so I don't know what's going on there. But you can buy it right now if you want. And then we have a game which is a new Naruto game. I didn't put the whole title because I couldn't be bothered, and I don't care about it, and you don't probably even know what it is.
Nope.
It's just basically an anime that I don't care about.
Yep.
So, Jodie, is it going to be the Division 2? Is it going to be the Lego Movie on the Nintendo Switch? Or is it going to be the Naruto game? It's going to be the Naruto game, isn't it?
We all know what it's going to be.
Naruto.
No. It's going to be the Division 2.
The Division 2 coming to your screens very soon.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to be that bothered about it because it's not on the Switch. If this was on
You're
the
going to have
Switch,
to get
Jodie.
over it too.
Oh my word, if this was on the Switch, I'd be all over it. No, I'm
you're just
interested.
gonna have to get-
Jodie, talk us through why it's exciting times for you.
I mean, as you said, we both missed the beta because...
Which I'm actually reasonably, if I was going to play it, I'm glad I didn't because it would ruin it.
Yeah,
But
I mean, so I went in and looked like on YouTube at different people that have played it, and there's some bits in it that I thought that needs to change. Like, you know, from the old one, I was like, these bits need to change for it to be, and they've literally done that. So I'm quite happy. So like, I watched like 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't want to get into it because I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn myself. You know what I mean? I wanted to be able to do it myself. So we're at that point, but I'm just excited because the other one was like, it was really good for one of them games. I was like, oh, I could really get into this in like the dark zones and stuff. I was just like, this is boss. Like, it was just class. And like the fact you can just like run past someone and just be like, oh, I come and do a mission with you. That's what I love. And the interaction of them games is what I love. So yeah, I mean, there was many times when I jumped into a game you didn't even know I was following you at some point.
Yeah.
So I am excited for
I
that
think the thing I'm worried about is that it's just going to be more of the same, and that's what I've heard in previews and stuff, is that it is just more of the same. I just remember when it was around E3 one year, and we were just playing it, and we didn't even know that we were at the end, but we were at the end. We just shot down a helicopter, and apparently that was the finale, and it was really like a poo finish, and we were like, oh, that's the end of the game. All right. You know what I mean? We didn't really play it past that, did we?
No.
We even had all the DLC, and I just couldn't get back into it at all.
I think we played in the dark zone a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, no.
Yeah, I can't bother with this.
So,
but I enjoyed it. I probably enjoyed about 50% of the game, like half of it really got into. So if they can capitalise on that good bit, maybe they can get somewhere. Definitely. So there you go, our game of the week. Let's get right in it. Pick of the week. Pick of the week is The Division 2. Pick it up on your favourite platform of choice. Yeah. Moving on, we're going to go into review of the week.
Oh, it's time to get funky. The reviews of the week.
Welcome back. It's time for a review of the week, and this is going to be a really quick one because this game has been out for quite a while now, and that is, of course, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Jody, 2D Mario. You're all over that 2D Mario, aren't you? Definitely check out that video of Jody playing Super Mario Bros. For the first time ever. Did she die in the first Goomba? Yes, go and watch the video and find out.
She did. She totally did, and it was well funny.
So, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is obviously a port of Super Mario Bros. U from the Nintendo Wii U. So it came out like second week of January. I think I was away with work at the time, so I just missed it. But I finally got around to playing it. So this is part of the Wii U one. It was actually a launch game for the Wii U, so that's how old it is. Quite old. So that's where I think a lot of people aren't happy with it, is that they're charging full price for a game that is that old and doesn't necessarily bring a lot of new content. But basically, right, I'm trying to... What you need to pull yourself away from is the people who haven't actually played this game and who are telling you how bad it is. Because people have got fatigue from all these new Super Mario Bros. Games because there's just been a lot in a short space of time. But this is honestly one of the best 2D Mario Brothers games out there, without a doubt. Like, it actually is so good. And if you actually look around reviews of when this game came out at the time, that was actually like quite a common statement, that it was actually just like one of the best 2D Marios in a long time. There is loads of content here. I think there's something like over 150 levels in this game. And the thing is as well, they add in, so after the original game came out, they did DLC, which was New Super Luigi U, which basically took all the levels in the game and sort of mixed them up and gave challenges and like remixed them, and it's like way harder. You have like 100 seconds to get through each level, and it's quite tense. But it's really fun. But it's just like, I finished the game and I completely forgot that all the New Super Luigi U stuff was there, and I kind of was like, oh my gosh, I've got to like go through the entire game again, which I now do have to anyway because I want to delete my save. And so there's just so much content here, and then you've got challenges on top of that, which is like all of people wanted these sort of challenges for ages, where it was like time attack and things like that, and that's all in here. And there's multiplayer in here, which on the Wii, me and my mates literally played it all the time, where it's basically like, it's like 4 of you on one level, and it's who can get the most coins before the end. But it gets so funny because you can like pick each other up and throw each other into fires and all sorts. It's such a good laugh. But it's just a really well designed Mario game. I think the only part where it sort of falls short is the art style isn't great. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, like Mini Clip on the PC. You just go on the internet and just pick up these little rubbish little games you play online. So you know what I mean, like in browser games.
Oh yeah.
And some of the art style actually looks like that. Like, I don't know, it's something like the pipes just look bad. I can't describe it. So if you can kind of get past that art style that's not amazing, it's an incredibly good game. And the map is really good. Even after you've finished the game, there is loads of stuff to do, even in the main the main campaign. There's like loads of collectibles to find. There's extra levels that you unlock from getting those collectibles. There's loads of secrets. I literally just found a shortcut that will let me skip like half the game. It's just there's just loads to discover in it. It's really good. It's a really solid 2D Mario game. If you've not played a 2D Mario game in a while, definitely pick this up. The only reason why you shouldn't get this game is if you played it on the Wii U already and you played the Super Luigi U stuff, which, I'm not being funny, not a ton of people did, because not a ton of people had Wii U's. I think it sold like 5 million copies initially.
Wow.
So honestly, this is a really good game. Don't just listen to all these people who are just like, don't buy it, it's not got anything new in it. They've added in like everything. And there's just, I wouldn't want them to put more in because there's too much already for me to deal with. So it's definitely worth it. I think it's a great game as well, leading up to Mario Maker as well. I think it's a great game to just play through that first before Mario Maker 2 comes out, and then obviously you've got all the other styles and stuff. So definitely worth picking up. I think this would be honestly like a 9.5 if the art style was not that great. There's some levels that look incredible. There's one that's based on like a Leonardo da Vinci painting, and it's crazy. But it's literally one level, so it's like disappointing. So it gets a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. It drops a point just because the art style isn't really up to par. But other than that, it's just a fantastic game from start to finish. You'll really enjoy it. So I can't recommend it enough. Morality score-wise, there's nothing weird going on in this Mario game, is the Jody? It's all fine. Not much more I can say. Morality score is 10 out of 10. There you go, Jody. Inspired to buy it?
No.
Nope. Moving on, it is time for Topic of the Week.
Topic of the week.
Welcome back. It is time for Topic of the Week, and this is going to be quite the touchy subject. So as we said in the news, there was that game called Rape Day, which has been blocked, took off, however you want to say it, off Steam. And what I thought would be an interesting little thing to do is talk about... We've talked about certain things that maybe we don't agree should be in games, or should. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and talk a little bit about why this is so bad. But then also, on the website... So you can go to the website of this game, and I don't think there's like any screenshots or anything, so you find to go on it. But the person who's created this game has basically done a question and answer thing with himself. I don't think anybody's actually asked them these questions. He's kind of like, I guess he's imagined what people would be asking him, you know what I mean? So we're going to go through some of the answers that he gave and kind of work out how we feel about it. So are we excited about this? So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to give you what their description of the game is, just so we can start off with a 10 out of 10 there, Jody, on the morality scale. So this is how he describes it. Rape Day is a visual novel where you control the choices of a sociopath during a zombie apocalypse. You can verbally harass, kill people, and rape women as you choose to progress the story. And then he's put an update saying this game was banned from Steam on the 7th of the 3rd, so that is literally today, for posing too great a risk to Steam customers and its developers. And then you can give the email. So Jody, if you just read that on the back of a box, would you be inspired to buy?
That's not a sociopath, that's a psychopath. They got the words mixed up. Oh my goodness. It's
just when you're trying to describe a game, like if I've made a game and I'm trying to get people to buy that game, like it's like the gameplay is you can verbally harass, kill people, rape women, and it's just the fact that it's just like you can just rape women, like it's pointing out that it's women that you're gonna specifically be targeting. It's just creepy, isn't it?
It's just ridiculous.
It's just crazy. So
makes me think what goes through his head as a developer.
So the main one. Well, there's the interesting things where it's like, where did you get your inspiration for Rape Day? And it's like, as a child, I grew up on horror books like Goosebumps. Don't remember any of that happening in Goosebumps. Scary stories for sleepovers and scary stories to tell in the dark. Like, this doesn't sound like a guy you want to be around, does it?
No.
So this is the main thing that I wanted to pick up on that we're going to really talk about. So it said, but really, what's up with this game? Like somebody's asked him that question. So the answer is, in some way, every good fantasy is a power fantasy. So that's something to think about. Even if it's some oddball story about gaining the acceptance of loss of control, it's still a form of power. Porn is even more about power. Or maybe it's me trying to work through my own trauma/PTSD. So what it just seems like quite obvious is that something's happened in this person's life that's been traumatic or something, and it's not good how he's expressing this.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I've seen a screenshot, like I've not seen anything that it's really describing, but like just the person you're playing as looks incredibly creepy, and I'm just like, what is going on? So I guess the main question, Jodie, is rape ever okay in a video game?
No.
No. In any form whatsoever?
No.
No.
That's all I have to say on this. Literally, there's nothing else you can say.
So I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. And Jodie's thinking, it's time for me to quit CGNgames. So, this is controversial in that I think the theme can be there in a game, but not the act. So what? Let me explain. So, a good example is a video that is probably one of the videos done one of the best for us, and that's when we talked about Beyond. What's it called? It's gone out of my head now.
The one with the robots in
Detroit
Becoming Human.
So that one had a theme that I don't think anybody particularly wants in a game, and that was like child abuse.
Yes.
So you didn't really witness child abuse,
no,
as far as I'm aware. I haven't actually played the whole game. I'm going off the trailer.
Don't think you do. No.
But the theme's there, and you have to deal with that theme in specific ways. And we kind of talked about on that video how that was okay, because the way that they dealt with it was more sensitive, and it wasn't like glorifying it. This just totally sounds like go out and have a great time raping people. That's what it makes it sound like. Whereas it was more going, here's a difficult theme that we want to tackle with this game. And that's where I'm sort of saying, I'm not saying it's okay to have raping games. I think completely not. Especially when you're the person controlling the character that's doing that, and you're purposely going out your way to do that. It's more, I'm okay with games tackling that issue in a more sensitive way. Like maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's some way that through the story you're supporting somebody who has maybe gone through that. So I'm not seeing it happen, I'm not encouraging it, but you're actually maybe seeing what it's like for that person who has experienced that later on, if that makes sense. So it's not there in the game, but you're still seeing that theme being dealt with in a positive way. Does that make sense? It's the opposite of what this is, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen played on Detroit, it's more of, it's one of those games where in your options reveal the outcome of what happens.
Yeah.
So from, like, I'm not seeing that specific storyline, but I mean there is like what people have said, like where the kid's killed and stuff like that, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
But you then, what winds me up about this is that you don't have the choice to not do that. I mean, I don't think it would be as bad if you had a choice. I mean, it's still bad.
It would still be bad.
But, I mean, you had the choice not to do it. Like, you know, for people
Yeah.
who didn't want to do it.
I think that's what people are,
Where
that seems to
Detroit-
be the running theme of what
Yeah.
people are most outraged about, is that you have to do it in order to
you don't
progress
have
the
the
story.
choice. And that's what I think, like, Detroit got away with a little bit, was because you could completely avoid the situation in some cases of the thing. And it's just like, this guy's going, no, you're going to experience through this game what I basically went through as a kid, or the trauma that I had as a kid. And basically what he's saying, I want you to feel my trauma and my pain through this game. And literally you can see what it's like for this victim, where I mean to a point it's really sad that this guy's have been through them situations in life, but then why would you bring out something that's completely showing everyone that when you could have been like someone who's like, oh yeah, I was a victim towards all this sort of abuse, and this is how I came out of it, and instead of putting everyone straight into it and making everyone go through the same situation. That's what winds me up in these situations.
But it's weird that it's just not even just like, oh, experience what I've experienced. It's like, you're going to be the one that goes out and does it, and you're going to get enjoyment out of this, and that's what's so creepy about it. But that's what I'm saying. I think like topics like this, I think need to be talked about more. That's what I'm saying.
No,
like
definitely.
this sort of thing is it definitely has this like sort of shame thing around it, which is totally wrong. Like you shouldn't feel ashamed that if that's happened to you. But it's like this is something, I feel like this is a sort of topic that's sort of like kept in the corner, and we don't talk about it because it's whatever. And I think it needs to be talked about so that the issue can be dealt with. Whether games is the place to do that, I think it can. I think Detroit has shown that sort of thing can be addressed there. But if you as a game developer are going to try and try and address an issue like that in a game, you have got to be so careful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'd probably say 9 out of 10 times it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, it's like a very different sort of situation. But that PC game, that Dragon Cancer, which is about two parents dealing with the loss of a child who had cancer. You could be like, oh, you can't put cancer in a game. That's offensive to people who have cancer. But actually, the whole point of that game was to show people what it's like for somebody to go through that and address it in a positive way. That's what the purpose, and it succeeded in doing that. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of like, if somebody wanted to make a game, because it's not really a game in those sort of scenarios, it's more like an experience and trying to start a conversation. I think that's a good thing, not in this way where it's the complete opposite of that and it's almost encouraging that kind of behaviour. So just to make that clear, I'm not okay with it. In case there's anything that's unclear there, we're not okay with it in games at all. But the theme of it to be addressed to have a positive outcome is different.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So there's just one bit I wanted to finally, and this could be a whole topic on itself, but here there's another question. Are you or people that enjoy games like this a danger to society? Like, who's asked? No one's asked him that question. No one's rang him up and gone, can you just answer this question for me? Like, he's clearly made these questions up.
Yeah.
But the answer is not any more than people who enjoy Grand Theft Auto or Hitman. Most people can separate fiction from reality pretty well, and those that can't shouldn't be playing video games. The point of games is to do things or experience things that you can't or shouldn't in reality. If games and movies were just like real life, they would be pretty boring. So, brings up the interesting point of like Grand Theft Auto, for example. And there's clearly a line that society isn't willing to step over. So there is in Grand Theft Auto, there is plenty of bad things. There's obviously the classic story of where people like hire prostitutes, do things in cars with them, and then beat them up and take the money back. Things like that are in games, and people don't seem to be that outraged about it. But this sort of thing, it does seem to be a step that people aren't willing to go. So in a sense, I mean, what I find interesting is this idea of detaching games from reality, and it's like, but this person doesn't seem to grasp how levels of things, you know what I mean? Like, going out, a game that's solely based around going out and raping people is very different to Grand Theft Auto, with, like you were saying, you're going round and you make the decision to do things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think Grand Theft Auto is great. I think there's plenty of stuff in that game that shouldn't be there, like what I just described. But that's not what I feel like is going on here.
No, I think through his answers he's trying to justify it. And I mean, like I said before, like he's saying along the lines of what's it called, the danger to society. But I mean, there's people that have been through like them situations. I mean, doing the act, well then yeah, of course you are. Like, but being a part of the act unwillingly is like, no, you're not a danger to society. And it's like, what I'm trying to say is that if you've been through them situations and then playing games like this, it's going to affect you majorly. And it's the same. I said the same in the Detroit video. Like, it's going to affect people differently in different situations. But this is like, you wouldn't see someone who's been in that situation playing this game, because they'd be like, no, because it's not right at all. But as we said before, like, what he's gone through shouldn't be brought into a game like that.
In that way.
Yeah,
specifically.
But I mean, if it was along the lines of the same formula as Detroit, where then you had the different options and trying to figure out and stop it from happening, then that would probably be more wanted in the things. But he's just trying to justify the game completely. That, I mean, to a point, you can understand because he's worked on it so much, but like, it's just not morally, even like just morally, it's just not right.
I don't agree with the fact that it's like, was it in the last comment? I can't remember, where it was saying games are basically so you can do things that you can't do in real life. Like, you shouldn't. The point is, you shouldn't want to go out and rape people. Yeah. You shouldn't want to go out and murder people. I don't want to. It's not that I can't, because that's the language that's interesting. He's saying that you can't do that in real life. It's not, I don't want to do that in real life, or it's not right that should happen in real life. It's like, oh, it's in a game. So now you can, all those things that you've wanted to do, but you couldn't because it's not legal, you can do it now. And that's where I think the creepiness comes in, because it's like, so are you basically saying that you want to rape people, but you just can't? Yeah. And that's what I think that's the major issue there. Yeah, it is. So where do we go from here? That is the next question. So it says, your game was banned from Steam. Now what? And this is where I think this could be a turning point. If this happens, we could get bad. So it says, first step is setting up sale for the game somewhere else. The next step is reaching out to other quality developers whose games were banned, which include pornographic content, nothing illegal, to organise a niche site where you can purchase porn games that are too morally reprehensible for Steam. This will take a little time, for example, finding the right payment processor for such a project, but don't worry, it will happen. So essentially what this person wants to do is to create this sort of like dark web sort of situation where you've got this website that is dedicated to basically games that have been banned from other places because they're so bad. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is where I'm like, because not only is it just these games that have been banned that will go there, it will then encourage other people to then go and make games that are probably quite disturbing. And that's where, and if this guy is the person who is manning it in terms of like who gets to go on this website and stuff, there's going to be like basically no policing going on there. They'll just allow anything going up, and it could get very dangerous. So I'm just like...
Yeah, and then games like this is what spoil it for like kids as well, because like sometimes kids go on to things and they don't realise what they're clicking, and they end up in situations that they didn't want to end up in. You know what I mean?
That's obviously why Steam wanted it off. Yeah, probably in case that sort of thing happens, and that's what I mean. That was the quote, wasn't it? They said it was posing too great a risk to Steam customers and its developers. I just can't believe.
It's just unbelievable.
Like, how you could think that having a game based around raping people is a good idea is beyond me. So, there you go. That happened. That happened. But thank goodness Steam took that down. Definitely. Just insane. I just can't believe that's where we're at these days. So there you go. To confirm, not okay. Not okay. No. So, on a lighter note, Jodie.
Yes.
We've had a good show.
We have.
It's been good. Please go and check out our channel that we launched last week, which is Nintendo Switch Daily. We've got loads of fun and happy videos on there where you can now, where you'll soon be able to buy a VR headset where you can pretend to be a bird flapping in the wind with your Nintendo Switch, where happiness is just around the corner. So please go and subscribe to that channel and check out some of those videos. We're having a great time making some of that content. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you absolutely hated it, please give it a thumbs down. You didn't have to enjoy that last bit, just maybe think. Come give us a thumbs up if you thought our thoughts were correct. I don't think we enjoyed that.
No, it's very difficult subjects to talk about.
I also didn't enjoy deleting my save game from the
we know.
New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more content just like this, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button.
Ding ding!
And you'll be notified of every new video coming soon. But don't worry, everything is just okay because I now have Shelter Generations number 3 from Super Games, which you should all go on and buy. Oh wait, you can't because they're really hard to find. Thanks for joining us. See you very soon. Bye.